Hello, I want to talk about an urgent topic that not enough people are talking about, which is the well-being of our children. I'm now showing you a graph, shows you black and white, that since 2008 until now, the level of depression is starting to really skyrocket. Kids are lonely, kids are depressed, kids are committing suicide in a higher degree than before. And it is about time that we, normal human beings, start fighting for them. I'm saying that we have to do it because our elite is definitely not gonna do it. I'm gonna prove that to you in today's video. I'm gonna now show you a conversation that happened in April 2019 between Noah Harari and Mark Zuckerberg. And Noah Harari, you probably know him. He's a professor that talked about hackable animals, useless eaters, and Mark Zuckerberg needs no introduction. I'm now going to show you the conversation, and afterwards I'm going to say a few things about that conversation and what that means for us, what we need to do for our children. Let's watch.
Hey everyone, this year I'm doing a series of public discussions on the future of the internet and society and some of the big issues around that. And today I'm here with Yuval Noah Harari, a great historian and best-selling author.
What does it mean to live in a world in which increasingly we rely on the recommendations of algorithms to make these decisions until we reach a point when we simply follow them all the time or most of the time? And they make good recommendations. I'm not saying that this is some abuse, something sinister. No, they're good recommendations. But we don't have a model for understanding what is the meaning of human life in such a situation.
Well, I think the biggest objection that I'd have to both of the ideas that you just raised is that we have access to a lot of different sources of information, a lot of people to talk to about different things. And it's not just like there's one set of recommendations or a single recommendation that gets to dominate what we do, and that gets to be overwhelming, either in the totalitarian or the capitalist model of what you were saying. To the contrary, I think people really don't like and are very distrustful when they feel like they're being told what to do or just have a single option. One of the big questions that we've studied is how to address when there's a hoax or clear misinformation. And the most obvious thing that it would seem like you do intuitively is tell people, hey, this seems like it's wrong. Mm-hmm. Here is the other point of view that is right. Or at least, if it's a polarized thing, even if it's not clear what's wrong and what's right, here's the other point of view, if you're on any given issue. And that really doesn't work, right? So what ends up happening is if you tell people that something is false, but they believe it, then they just end up not trusting you, right? So that ends up not working. And if you frame two things as opposites, right? So if you say, okay, well, you're a person who doesn't believe in, you're seeing content that not believing in climate change. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to show you the other perspective, right? Here's something that argues that climate change is a thing. That actually just entrenches you further, mm-hmm. Because it's, okay, someone's trying to kind of control. So what ends up working, right, sociologically and psychologically, the thing that ends up actually being effective is giving people a range of choices. So if you show not here's the other opinion and with a judgment on the piece of content that a person engaged with, but instead you show a series of related articles, right, or content, then people can kind of work out for themselves, hey, here's the range of different opinions or things that exist on this topic. And maybe I lean in one direction or the other, but I'm kind of going to work out for myself where I want to be. Most people don't choose the most extreme thing. And people end up feeling like they're informed and can make a good decision. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, I think that that's the architecture and the responsibility that we have, is to make sure that the work that we're doing gives people more choices, that it's not a given a single opinion that can kind of dominate anyone's thinking, but where you can, connect to hundreds of different friends, and even if most of your friends share your religion or your political ideology, you're probably going to have 5 or 10% of friends who come from a different background, who have different ideas, and at least that's getting in as well. So you're getting a broader range of views.
Really, Mark? Well, for those of you that have been paying attention over the last 4 years, we all know that Mark Zuckerberg and his Facebook Meta, well, they clearly were biased on several different instances throughout that time. That just proves that we cannot trust the elite. The elite does not have our interest in mind, and the elite, like Mark Zuckerberg, will steadily let that depression of youth just rise and rise and rise. Social media is absolutely toxic for young people, and so is, for instance, all that gendered nonsense, in my opinion at least. We should not let people like Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, or Noah Harari dictate our future, because we, normal people, have to live with the consequences. Mark Zuckerberg won't. He lives in a palace somewhere. He probably has 10 houses. I don't know. I don't care. I just know that he will not suffer the consequences like normal people do. That's why we need solutions. We need to think about this on all different levels. The political level, the judicial level. We need to start suing companies like Facebook, TikTok definitely, for basically standing by while our youth is being ruined. Because that's what those companies are doing to their kids, and they know it. There are several senior officials of these companies have been saying, I'm not allowing my kids to use it because it's heavily addictive. Why isn't this being sued like crazy? These companies need to be sued. They need to suffer the consequences. We as normal people need to start standing up for our kids. Do the right thing. Let them play after school. Make sure all that stuff like iPads and mobile phones, they're gone, or limited at least. So start taking your role as a parent, as an uncle, as a friend, as a teacher or mentor. Do something, because we are in charge, not the elite. People, thank you very much for watching this video. It was a serious one, but it's an important topic. We need to talk about it. Don't forget to like the video if you did like it, otherwise don't. And subscribe to my channel if you did like it, and otherwise don't, because I don't like dodgy subs. But you're not one. You're probably a fun sub. So subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.
Snake, answer me!